Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our first time home buyers webinar. My name is Dana Wang. I'm the Director of Marketing for NOC Development, and I will be going over a lot of valuable information on first time home buying, the different incentives. Like I mentioned just now, I like to keep the session interactive. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'll keep my Zoom chat open as well. Yeah, so that you can let me know if you have any questions during the webinar here. Very excited to share some content. So let's go right in there. So um, NOC Development. So we are a developer and builder in the Windsor region. Um, we've been building in Windsor for the past 10 years, and we love the environment here. It has a great community, and also it has great weather. So it's a fantastic area to build. So in this webinar, we'll cover the different tax incentives, government, federal programs for first-time home buyers, mortgage options, financial planning, as well as the different type of homes that are very suitable for home buyers. Also go over the different builder incentives we have for first-time home buyers across all of our communities. So lots of good content for you. So before I get into the details for first-time home buyers, I'd like to share some details about NOC development. So like I mentioned, we've been building in Windsor for the past 10 years. And we build a little differently than some of the builder in the area. We are a Tier 1 registered builder, and we're very proud that we build for first-time home buyers, we build for move-up families, retirees, and investors. So we have a product across the board that are very suitable for different buyers group. We focus our build on innovative design, superior build quality, as well as exceptional customer service. We aspire to bring great design to every home that we build. When it comes to customization and designs, we go through multiple stages to make sure we optimize for space, for natural light, for functionality. We focus on bringing a lot of modern architecture into our designs, whether it's interior or exterior. We also are very open to customization to the home to better fit homeowners' lifestyle. So this is kind of a key difference between us and different builders. We're actually not afraid to customize your home. We do understand, whether you're for first-time home buyers or if you move up buyers, when you get out there and buy a new home, most likely you might have some, personal requests, whether it's just, different layouts, configuration of the space, or even some kind of kitchen design and such. So we're very open to do those customizations for you because we do believe when you buy a new home, it's important for you to have those personal touches that you want in your homes. We also incorporate energy efficiency and smart home features into our homes. Build quality is very important to us. So we focus on quality and we focus on using premium material. Like a lot of the offerings or standard offerings are upgrades from other builders. For instance, we use top quality paint from Sherwin-Williams. We use porcelain tiles, white trim for your doors. We use premium countertops and kitchen cabinets. So really make sure attention to details in creating a final product for you and creating a new home for you. We also focus on providing great customer service. When you buy a new home, it's an ongoing process with you and the builder. Now we start from design stage, the floor plan stage, and then we go into the construction and post-construction. So it's usually a process of 10 to 12 months for us to build your home, and we're very transparent in communication at every stage of the process. From design, from purchase agreement to decor selection to post-purchase warranty program. We'll guide you through the selection process, the closing inspections, and the post-purchase warranty. And you can reach out to us directly with any servicing requests. So we're always very proud, to work directly with our clients. You don't need to, wait until your tearing form due date to let us know any warranty issues. You can let us know as they happen, and we'd like to get those repaired for you as soon as possible. So we're very proactive in those areas. I'm always very proud when our clients move into the communities, and sometimes they would, often they will refer their families or relatives to buy in the same community. So this is a really, when these referral happens, this is a real testament of our build quality. And we love to see clients refer their good friends or relatives, their family friends, or extended family to move into the same community that we built for them. So that's a little bit about us. I want to go into a bit more details about first-time home buying program. It is, when you're buying your first home, it is very important to, get a sense of what are the programs out there, especially if the government is giving out incentives and free money for first-time home buyers. So I want to make sure you take advantage of that. So let's take a look at some of these incentives here. So the first incentive is home buyers plan. So this is a plan that you can withdraw from your existing registered account, from existing RRSP account. So you already have contribution in those. You can withdraw up to $60,000 tax-free from your RRSP account when you're purchasing your first home. So this is a great program to keep in mind when you're doing that planning in terms of like financial planning, tax planning, to purchase your first home. The second really great option program is called your first home savings account. So this is a savings account that's very similar to your tax-free savings account that you can put in up to $8,000 a year with a maximum of $40,000 in total into this account. So this account is tax deductible. It is also tax-free when you withdraw. So you can contribute to this account for $8,000 per year, up to $40,000, so up to 5 years. And then you can withdraw this money to buy your first home, tax-free. Another really great tax incentive program is the land transfer tax rebate. So when you purchase a new home or you purchase a home, there is a land transfer tax. Depending on where you are, if you're in Toronto, you are paying the double land transfer, basically doubling twice the land transfer. But if you're outside of Toronto, elsewhere in Ontario, you're paying that one-time land transfer, and those can be expensive. So there is a program for land transfer rebate that you can get up to $4,000 in Ontario when you're a first-time home buyer. So this only applies to first-time home buyer. If you already have a home, unfortunately, that wouldn't apply. And then for Toronto, you get a rebate up to $4,475 on your land transfer tax. And then the fourth option is one I want to highlight today. So this is a new program that just came out, and now we are very glad to receive the details on this last couple of weeks. It's called it's a GST rebate, 5% GST rebate for first-time home buyers. So there's some nuance to this rebate. So this is rebate available for homes of a purchase price up to $1 million, which that's what gives you the maximum rebate of $50,000. And then if this is a home between $1 million to $1.5 million, then you will be on the phase out a linear decrease amount of this 5% rebate. Meaning, for example, if you purchase a home at $1.2 million as a first-time home buyer, you will be eligible for 50% of the GST rebate, which is up to $25,000. And if it's 1.5 million, then that will be kind of the threshold. You won't be able to receive any additional rebate. So you can see that this rebate, it's a great tax incentive program. It's very targeted to first-time home buyers. And usually what we see when it comes to first-time home buyer, most of the purchase price are under $1 million. So this is, I think that the government definitely designed this program that are very targeted to help first-time home buyers. So a couple of ways to qualify for this program. You have to be 18 years of age. You have to either be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada. And this is the third one, which is very important to keep in mind, is how was it defined as a first-time home buyer? Is that either you never own a home, or you have not lived in a home, whether in or outside of Canada, that you own or you or your spouse own in the past 4 calendar years. So if you don't own a home in the past 4 years, under this definition, you can still qualify as a first-time home buyer, and you can receive up to 5% of the GST rebate. So this is a big saving for first-time home buyers. And I just want to clarify, typically, when you see our price list, when you go into a purchasing pre-construction homes, the price includes HST. So in that case, what it means to you as a first-time home buyers is that you will receive an additional 5% rebate on your homes at closing. So this is, either this can be taken as a closing credit, or this can be taken as a rebate application, and you can receive the rebate from the CRA. So there are two options, but you will receive an additional 5% rebate, which is pretty sweet considering there are a lot of costs when you're buying a new home, and that 5% up to 50,000 that could go into new furnitures, or helping out with mortgage payments, or helping out with down payment. So that's, like, I personally think this is the kind of the biggest and one of the best policy that we've seen in terms from the federal government to help first-time homeowners to own homes. So definitely take advantage of this option, because we're already seeing a lot more inquiry coming from first-time home buyers because of this special incentive. And it's also a great time to lock down, if you consider pre-construction, it's a great time to lock down your price today. And then you have time to build up your down payment, your equity, as we build a home for you. And I'll go over the details in the subsequent slides with more details. So, if there's anything, sort of a key takeaway for you, I would say this slide is, one of the key takeaway in terms of the current government incentives for first-time home buyers. So now let's take a look at, when you're buying a new home. So now I know, okay, these are the government incentives. So how do I determine how much can I afford when I want to get out there and buy a new home? So I've did some work for you, and this is kind of a good outline in terms of what to consider, how much can I afford when you're looking for your first home from a financial planning perspective. So a key formula to consider is your gross debt service ratio. So this is something your lender is going to look at. This is something, a mortgage broker is going to, talk to you about. Essentially what that means is gross debt service ratio is your total household costs. So your debt service, your debt costs, divided by your total household income. And you want to make sure your costs do not exceed 40%, 39% of your gross income. So you want to get that balance to consider, that balance. So when you look at kind of planning for your first home, the way to consider these monthly debts are, think about your credit card loans, your credit card payments, you have student loans, and then also one thing people, tend to overlook is your car loans as well. So those will all add up into your gross debt service, so your costs, monthly costs, when they do that calculation. There are a lot of great online affordability calculator that you can take a look. It's available from the CMHC, which is the Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation website, or some bank tools. We also have one on our website you can take a look. But essentially, that is a key factor to plan in terms of your costs versus your income. And then you also want to plan for your down payment savings. So typically from a build, when you purchase a pre-construction from builder require at least 5 to 10% of your deposit. So you want to plan for the deposit payment. And then you want to just consider your mortgage payment. So typically your mortgage payment could be, it could be 10% to 20% down payment. You can get an 80% loan to value. So you want to plan those so that you have your down payment at least 5 to 10% ready. And then you understand what kind of like costs, what kind of current loans are you already in. Then you would also maybe think about consolidating some of those loans. And another financial factor to consider is your emergency fund. So you want to, I always say, have some emergency fund available, just in case you need those, so that you don't get into a situation when it kind of induces anxiety. So kind of think about those factors in terms of what is our household income, what is your total current loan, credit card, student loans. Do we have a down payment savings? Do we have emergency fund, and kind of build up from there? So a good way and a key portion of purchasing a new home is to think about your mortgage as well. And I always recommend my clients to talk to your mortgage brokers or talk to your bank early. Especially even when you're thinking about getting a home, but you haven't really decided which home or which community you want to be in, start those conversations so you can prepare, your financials. You can consolidate your loans. You can prepare and get familiar with the different mortgage details, because sometimes it could be, there's a variety of options. But I'll go over some details in this webinar with you. So Mortgage 101. Typically, when you go into a mortgage, there are two types. There is a fixed rate and there's a variable rate. Fixed rate, which means you have the same interest rate for the entire term. So that gives you a lot of stability in terms exactly what is interest rate you're paying and how long you're paying that for. Variable rate, on the other hand, can fluctuate with prime rates. So in an event where prime rates are coming down, similar to the environment that we're in, going into a variable rate can offer potential savings. So this is definitely a great conversation to have with your mortgage specialist. And if you need a recommendation, reach out to me. We can recommend, we can refer a few mortgage specialists to you. And another key distinction is your term versus amortization. So term is the amount of time you're going to be in this mortgage. And typically we see terms between 3 to 5 years. And that amortization is how long your mortgage are amortized over. So typically we see, it's 25 years. And then we also see some of the mortgage go, a lot of the bank offering 30-year amortization. So what that means is basically the longer the amortization period is, the lower your monthly payment will be. So that is something also to consider if you wanted to, pay out your mortgage sooner, or if you want to just maybe take a longer amortization. Another big distinction I like to point out is the mortgage, your open versus closed mortgages. So open mortgages are typically more flexible. It's an open term, so you can repay back your mortgage without any penalties. But because it's flexible, it's usually at a much higher rate. And usually, unless it's a kind of a short-term bridge loan, we don't usually see our clients use kind of open mortgages when they purchase a new home and they, for long term for themselves. Closed mortgage is what we commonly see. Basically it's a closed term, whether it's 3 years or 5 years, it's a closed term. It is less flexible. There could be prepayment penalties depending on the term of your mortgage. However, it does offer low rates, and if you're wanted to be in your home for a very long time, having a closed mortgage at a low rate, it's a great option. When you get out there and apply for a mortgage, typically there will be a stress test. So stress test is a way to qualify you as a borrower. And the way the stress tests are set up is you have to qualify at a much higher interest rate than the rate you're getting. So for instance, let's say if you're getting a rate of 5.25, this rate is a little dated. I think I've seen some of the rates going down to 4 point, the low fours or even high three. So whichever rates you're getting, your rate plus 2% is the stress test rate. So you want to also consider that when you're doing your kind of your mortgage planning, because the bank would likely need to qualify you on a higher interest rate, even though that is not your current rate. That's just a requirement of stress test. Another very popular mortgage option I've seen with a lot of first-time home buyers is to go through the CMHC insured mortgage path. So CMHC is a Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation. They offer a variety of mortgage options, and one of them is they offer mortgage insurance on when you purchase a home, as when you're a home buyer purchasing a home. So with that mortgage insurance, you can go as low as your down payment can go as low as 5%, meaning you can have a mortgage, a loan to value of up to 95%. They are, however, kind of requirement on the income side. A typically rule of thumb is you're looking at about 4.5 to 5 times your household income when they're calculating kind of your total mortgage that it can give to you. But this is again something great to think about if you wanted to hold your have your mortgage for a long term. You want to go with a low down payment. It's worth to explore the CMHC insured program. If you're not going that route and then you're going for a more traditional, conventional bank mortgage, then typically you want to plan for a 20% down payment and then 80% loan to value. So something to think about to plan when you're considering buying your first home. And then the beauty of going to a pre-construction new home is that you can work on these things while you have your home built, because there's build time of 10 to 12 months while you kind of finalizing these mortgage details. So let me see if we have any questions before we proceed. Okay, looks like we're good. Great. And feel free to type in the chat section if you have any questions. Okay, so let's look at the different home options as a whole first-time home buyers that you have options. You can take a look. So typically we see you will have 3 options when you're looking for a home in the market. So you have pre-construction, you have quick closing homes, and then you also have an option to buy resale homes that are already been built in the market. So let's take a look at the difference here in terms of when it comes to closing timeline, the interior finishes, deposits, and mortgage approval. So I'll kind of briefly explain that first column there. So pre-construction homes is basically a new home that will build from the ground up. Like I mentioned previously, it takes roughly about 10 to 12 months usually for us to build. The beauty of a pre-construction is you can customize all the details in your home. So that's your interior, your exterior finishes like the brick color, stone, your interior such as your kitchen cabinets, floors, tiles, paint, lighting fixtures. Even let's say if you want to have like a separate great entrance to the basement, you want to have configure the layout a little differently. Those are all the customization that we could offer when you build from the ground up with us when you purchase a pre-construction homes. So that's a lot of flexibility. If you have a certain look, certain way that you wanted to see your new home at, so we can definitely help you achieve that. And then you will have a different deposit and closing timeline as well. So usually most builder will require about 10% deposit, and you pay that over 4 to 6 months. We do have a special program right now that will have a 5% deposit on some of our communities, and I'll go over that details in the subsequent slides for you. But just for your planning purposes, think about 10% deposit over 4 to 6 months. And then your mortgage approvals, typically you start applying and finalizing your mortgage 3 months before closing. So that gives you a lot more time as a first-time home buyer to save up for your additional down payment, to shop for a good mortgage, especially in an environment where rates are declining, rates are coming down. Locking down your mortgage rate at a much more favorable rate and time makes a big difference on your final interest cost. So that's a huge benefit for pre-construction homes. And by the way, in these custom finishes, so when you do customization upgrades, the costs will also can go into your mortgages, which will I'm going to highlight a difference when we look at the resale homes. So another option you can go into is quick closing homes. So these are typically inventory homes already rebuilt under construction. So the closing time could be a bit sooner. It will be limited customization because these are already been built, but typically we want to make sure that you have a chance at least, bring some of the final touches, let's say floors, paint, lighting, countertop into the new homes. So it's limited customization, but there are still selections, options that you can choose from. And then there will be a deposit timeline will be 5%, likely over 2 to 3 months. And in your mortgage approval, you're looking to, depending on the closing date you're looking at, you'll probably need to get approval within the next 1 to 2 months. If you're looking to purchase a resale home, so something already on the market, then typically the closing timeline, you're looking about 2 to 3 months. If you go in there, if there's any, details of home that you like to change, those will have to be renovation work done after you close. So those will have to be, you have to basically come up with additional cash for those renovations. And then the deposit timeline is usually 5 to 10% when the agreement's firm, and your mortgage approval, typically these deals move a bit faster. So we should recommend you to have your mortgage approval already. Or, we want to make sure you finalize your mortgage within 30 days. So those are a much faster pace. So just a quick summary of the benefit of pre-construction homes for first-time home buyers is that you can fully customize your home with interior finishes that you love. The upgrade cost can be added to your mortgage. And then also new homes are covered under tear warranty. So you have 7-year structure, you have 1-year craftsmanship, and you have like 2 years of building envelope, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. So those are all covered under your tier warranty. And then you can also lock in a good interest rate while the homes are being built. So during the construction period, if interest rate come to a very beneficial point, then you can lock down those interest rate. So very, very beneficial when we're in a cutting environment. When an interest rate declining interest rate environment. And then likely you probably enjoy a price appreciation when the interest rate come down, when we complete a home for you guys next year. So these are just some good benefits to consider when you're deciding between pre-construction homes, quick closing homes, or resale homes. So I want to switch gear a little bit and share some of our projects that we have in Windsor. We find Windsor has been a fantastic region, and it's one of the best comeback story of all time. That the region went from one very single industry focused economy to a very diverse economic region, where now they have very strong manufacture, logistic, tourism, agricultural, education, EV production. So it is at the heart of a clean energy electrification transformation by the provincial government. And then despite all that, Windsor is still on the very affordable side of things, where cost of living is very affordable, and then also have great weather, which we see those factors attract a lot of new residents coming from across Ontario, even across Canada into Windsor. So it's a great place to be if you're first-time home buyers and you're considering, choosing Windsor to be, where you want to raise your family and where you want to locate. So we have 3 very exciting communities in Windsor, and I would love to share a bit more details. Just a quick go over some of the strategic growth. There's a lot of investment coming from the federal, provincial, and from Fortune 500 companies that are investing in Windsor. So a very big investment is a $6 billion next star EV battery plant. This is a joint venture between the car maker Stellantis and the battery maker, the Korean battery maker LG Energy. The plant's actually already under production, likely will be in operation very soon this fall. They will be creating 2,500 new jobs. And then this also brings a additional supply chain and manufacture into the Windsor region on EV battery plant and energy production, which is very, very exciting. We have another big investment coming from the federal government, a $6.4 billion Gordie Howe International Crossing Bridge. So this will be the third crossing bridge, in addition to Ambassador Bridge and the Windsor-Detroit Crossing Tunnel. The bridge already have been completed. My understanding is currently in operational testing. So we'll see this in operation end of this year or early next year. So very exciting news for cross-border trade. And then there's a $2 billion new regional hospital that's been in the works in South Windsor. That will be a 5-year investment. And then we also see expansion coming from Universal Windsor, St. Clair colleges, who both build new facility for residents and for their engineering for the different academic programs. So very, very exciting. We also see a new Amazon fulfillment center that's already been completed in operation. There's an investment and expansion of the current regional mall, Devonshire Mall, to over 160 stores. Their investment on transit lines, highway investment, parks and trail, community plan, as well as a lot of population growth in the region. It's a very interesting fact that the population grows about at 4%, and then the provincial growth is about 3.5%. So Windsor it's outpacing the provincial growth and bringing about 16,000 new residents into the Windsor region. So this is a great growth area for any investors or home buyer looking to set up their home in a great environment, also with a lot of growth. So I want to share a little bit about our project. We have 3 projects in Windsor region, and I think the most fitting project for the webinar today will be our Bevel Line Towns project. So this is a townhome project located on Leamington. So Leamington is about a 40-minute drive from Windsor. It is on the south side. This project is close to golf course and waterfront, and it's a very beautiful scenic place. It's great for families, and we have these freehold 2-car garage, 3-bedroom townhomes are starting from the high 600s. So I have a quick video that I'd like to share with you so we can learn a bit more about this exciting community. All right, so understand there is an audio issue. So what we'll do is we'll send out the this video link to everybody attending the webinar, so you have a chance to see this video again. My apology for the um, audio issue there. So let's take a look at this community. It's super exciting. So we have freehold 30 feet townhomes that are 2-car garage, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So we have options for 2-story and bungalow designs. Right now we have released the 2-story designs. And then it's a fantastic community. You get full size front and backyard. You have private front porch with no sharing driveway with neighbors, which I'll show you the front rendering to show you what that really is. And we have a contemporary interior finishes. These are priced from $699, and consider that if you're first-time home buyers, you will be getting an additional 5% GST rebate on top of this price. So that would really, bring this price point to a very favorable price point to you. And closing time will be summer to fall of 2026. So you're looking at about a year to a year and a half from now. This is really a great option, I would say, for buyers looking to save up on down payment gradually, because we'll be taking these deposits at a kind of a gradual steps. But you can lock down the cheaper price that we have today. With interest rate coming down, and with also the cost of building material continue to go up, you'll likely see a price appreciation on this unit at closing. So this is very exciting. I think this is a very fitting project for a first-time home buyer. So I'll share a little bit about the location of this area. So the site is called Bevel Line Towns. It's located at Bevel Line and Eagle Street, right by Lake Erie in Leamington. So right next to it, we have Erie Shores Golf Course. There is a off-leash dog park, as you can see in the video, right across from us. So you can have pets. This is a great community to be in. You're like a few minutes away from the waterfront Leamington Marina, as well as the Sunset Garden, the Sunset Amphitheater. So this is where all the Canada Day celebration, where waterfront trail, boating, this is where all the excitement is happening. So you're very close. It's a very family-friendly environment. And north of this waterfront marina and beach is Erie Street. So this is where all the commercial retail shops, every amenity, lifestyle amenity you need are all here. So we have all the big box store like Walmart, Superstore, Canadian Tire, Food Basics, Freshco, Shoppers Drug Mart, they're all here. There's a lot of fantastic restaurants along this area. You also get all the banks, you get a lot of great healthcare facilities, hospitals all along this corridor. Also, if you're looking for your Starbucks and your Tim Hortons and your local coffee shop, they're all available here. And typically Starbucks and Walmart, these are large multinational Fortune 500 companies. They're very selective in terms of where they put their stores, where they put their coffee shops. So they definitely see the strength and growth of Leamington to put their stores. There's only, I believe, 4 Walmarts in Windsor region, and Leamington has one of them. So excellent regional amenities. And oh yeah, by the way, if you're into parks and hiking, there's an award-winning Point Pelee National Park just south from the site. You're about 20 minutes away, and it's a fantastic national park that people from all over Canada, US will come here. It's very beautiful. It's super scenic, lots of good trails, great amenity, very close by to our Bevel Line Town community. And then from this area, if you take just a drive north, if you look at the regional map here on top, and then you have access to all the regional amenity that we show in Windsor. So you have access, for a half-an-hour drive, you can go to Costco, Windsor Airport, St. Clair College, University of Windsor, downtown, Devonshire Mall, international crossing to Detroit. So it's a very, very convenient lifestyle. A lot of people in the region, let's say if you're flying international, flying to US, they tend to drive directly to Detroit. It's about an hour, 40 minute, or no, an hour or 40-minute drive. And then from there, you can take a domestic flight to US or international flight elsewhere. So very, very convenient lifestyle and a really, really affordable cost of living to be in this region here. So let's take a look at the homes here. So these homes are designed the way that it's townhome. However, it feels very much like a detached home. So each of these will have a two-car garage, and you have your private kind of your entrance, your own foyer that you don't share with your neighbors. You get your own privacy. So when you go into the home, it feels very much like a detached home, and then you also get a nice nice front and backyard that you can enjoy. Let's take a look at the floor plan quickly. So you come in here and it's a very open concept floor plans that you come in there, you get your kitchen, your living room, very open, very spacious. And on your second floor, you have 3 bedrooms. So you have your primary bedroom facing the backyard. You have 4-piece ensuite, and you have your his and her sinks, shower, and your toilet. And then you also have 2 other bedrooms across from the primary bedroom there. So lots of good privacy. And then you have a second floor laundry, which, I always prefer second floor laundry, just a lot more convenient that way. And all of these bedrooms are very spacious, lots of space for your family. And then we have a great special incentives right now where you have engineering hardwood on the main floor, you have granite kitchen countertop, glass shower enclosure, you get a free air conditioning, and you get 3 basement 3-piece bathroom rough-ins. So these homes are priced from $699. So this is a price reduction, VIP pricing from the original price of $729. And as a first-time home buyers, you get that additional 5% GST rebate on top of that. So that will be additional cost saving for you. For this community, we have a kind of extended deposit structure when you can put down your deposit gradually over 210 days, so roughly about 8 months. And then closing for this community, you'd be looking at summer, fall of next year, 2026. Awesome community. If you're interested, reach out to me. We can set up a showroom for you. We can share more details for these homes. Next, I just want to quickly go over 2 of our other communities. One is our Queens Valley Estate. So this is a lovely project located in Kingsville. So Kingsville is about half an hour drive from Windsor, a little bit slightly north from Leamington. This project is also very close to waterfront. You're about 3 kilometers from waterfront. Very, very scenic, beautiful place to be. In this community, we offer large lots, so 65-foot wide by 130 deep. So if you love a lot of like outdoor indoor space, this is a really great place to be. We see a lot of family, they will put skating rink, they will have garden, they have swimming pool, their backyard. There's just a lot of space that we can offer in this community. So we have bungalow ranch style homes with a 3-bedroom with 1,800 square feet starting from the high 800s. We also have 2-story homes that are between 2,100 to 2,500 square feet, that's starting from the high 8s to high 900s. So really great options for families looking for that indoor and outdoor space. I'll quickly share some of our site plan here. So as you can see, a lot of our current phase already sold out. We do have limited availability for inventory home and pre-construction. So this is something you're interested, definitely can let me know. Here is one of the options for our very popular Victoria model. So this is a ranch bungalow style, and then you have everything on 1 floor, tall 9-foot ceiling, 3 beds, 2.5 baths. Fantastic home to live in. And then the other option we have, very popular, is our 2-story detached home. This is one of our Brooklyn models. So this one is a 5-bedroom, 2.5 to 3.5 bath, about 2,500 square feet. So this is just priced just under $1 million. So you will qualify for, that maximum 50,000 GST rebate if you're interested to purchase this home as a first-time home buyer. Special incentives. I'll quickly go over this with you as well. So we kind of offer a very similar incentive package across the board. So you get engineered hardwood on lane floor, you get granite countertop, glass shower enclosure, freestanding tub in your master ensuite, air conditioning, basement 3-piece bathroom rough-in. And also for a limited time, you're getting additional $10,000 decor upgrades that you can use to upgrade your kitchen, to upgrade, different parts of the home that you like to change. So we're giving that to you as a decor upgrade. The price point starting from the high 800s, as you can see on the price list here. We are offering a low deposit structure, so we can do a 5% deposit over 150 days, so that's over 5 months. So that's another way that we can really help you to make it easier when you're buying your home, your first home. Is you can instead of a 10% deposit, we can do a 5% deposit and make that process a little easy for you. So if you're interested in this home, this community, let me know. It's a fantastic area with large homes and large lot. So our third project I'd like to go over is our Central Park Windsor project. So this is our flagship new home project in the heart of Windsor. So this is very convenient, located. You're about like 15 minutes away from the crossing bridge, the tunnel, as well as the new future extension of the crossing bridge, Gordie Howe Bridge. You're very close to all the amenities you need. Devonshire Mall. You're short walk to Clemson Road, which is where all the commercial groceries, retail shops, cafe, restaurants are all located. So super convenient location, the heart of Windsor. As you can see, some of the amenities around here are just fantastic. It's very walkable. It's lots of trails. Also very easy to drive around. Very transit friendly, but also you have very close, easy access to highway and international crossings. So for this community, we already sold a big portion of these homes. So we still have some homes available. We have some Astoria and Soho lots available. So our designs are kind of our smart, contemporary, and classic designs. And I'll quickly go over our Soho model, which is probably the most applicable, this is a fantastic 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Very open concept layout, lots of space. And then there's a 4 great sized bedrooms on the second floor, laundry on the second floor as well. In the master, you have a 5-piece. You have his and her sink. You have glass shower, freestanding tub. It's a very beautiful, gorgeous finish. And this home is priced at $949,990. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, more modern, contemporary design, we have our Astoria model. So this one, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, larger square footage, about 2,100 square feet. And I love this it's a very square kind of a design, very clean layout. And you have a combined family dining kitchen area, and you have 4 large bedrooms on the second floor. So fantastic layout for families and for growing families. We also have our Chelsea model if you're looking for something a little bit bigger. This one is 2,700 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5 baths. So there's extra bathroom in the second floor. And this one is priced at $1.24 million. Just want to quickly share some of the interior designs with you, as well as the price point. So for this community, we also have a 5% deposit incentive right now. So we can, we can make this a smaller deposit, and that will be 5% over 150 days, which is about 5 months. Closing will be about a year from now. So you're looking at summer of 2026. So here are the incentives. You can see we're offering $10,000 decor upgrades for Soho and Astoria model. and a $20,000 decor upgrade for Tribeca and Chelsea model on top of what we already offer for the current incentives and free bonus upgrades to all of our homes. So feel free to you can scan a QR code for information portal, or you can register below for more updates. So we want to extend our token of appreciation for you to extend our webinar to join a webinar today. So for everyone that join a webinar today, you will get some additional bonuses. So you can enjoy a limited time 5% deposit for Central Park Windsor and Queens Valley Estate. You would also receive a smart home package that includes Ecobee or Nest thermostat, a smart lock, and a smart doorbell installed for you at prior to closing. So that's a $1,000 in value. You also get a $1,000 closing credit. So these will be offered valid until July 31st. If you or your client decided to move forward with us before July 31st, and you would have received this additional webinar special offer. So I'll leave my contact information up there. If you'd like to book a time, come and learn about our communities, see our finishes, learn about our Central Park Windsor or our Queens Valley or Bevel Line Town project, feel free, can reach out to me via email or phone number. I'd love to schedule a tour, and I'd love to show you more about what we have in these amazing communities. So any other questions for me? Okay, I do see a question. Okay. So I see a question from Helen. So house is great. The house is great. Thank you, Helen. Is there any option for finished basement for potential rentals? That is a great question, Helen. Yes, so you can, if you're looking to finish your basement for potential future rental income, which is actually a very popular option, we can definitely do that. So we can have an additional separate entrance in the basement to create a great entrance. And then we can finish the basement, depending on the model that you choose. We can finish that with let's say, a 1-bedroom, 1 bed, 1 bath, or maybe if you choose a bigger model, we can even probably do a 2-bedroom, 1 bath with a kitchenette option. So that's definitely an option that we can offer for a finished basement. That's a great question. Okay, great. Is there any other questions for me? Okay, very nice. Well, I want to, just say thank you for attending the webinar today. It's a pleasure to share our project as well as share some of the shared incentives on first-time home buyers. So my contact information is up there on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you'd like to book a viewing, if you even like to learn more about these communities. And then there is a recording of this webinar today, and we will be sharing the recording with everyone that registered. So thank you again, and hope you guys have a lovely afternoon. Take care.